This video is going to ruffle the feathers of the broke and impressionable people. I already know. I already know.
We'll take a 5-minute recess without objection. Well, then y'all better focus.
I still feel the conversation needs to be had.
Because
Your car is a money pit and it's keeping you broke.
I want on.
It's not just a vehicle that you're driving. It's also a vehicle that's driving you into a financial hole. Vehicle that's keeping you from ever generating wealth. I personally do not understand the fixation of buying vehicles when you're broke. I don't understand broke people wanting to drive something that is very expensive to look rich. I would challenge you all to think, where else could this money go if not to a car note? There is a true need to flex. I don't know why, but I do have stats that might support why. According to a Lending Tree survey, almost 40% of Americans overspend to impress others, with the main reason being to impress family or friends, reciprocate generosity, or to impress a date. The survey also found that 52% of Gen Zers and 46% of millennials are most likely to overspend to impress someone. A lot of the people who do this are not making enough money to truly maintain that car and their lifestyle. New research finds that men's conspicuous spending is driven by the desire to have uncommitted romantic flings. And gentlemen, women can see right through it. You see, the car is a status symbol of what you really want in real life. You want to be looked at as somebody who has money by other people. I don't know, maybe your family, maybe your friends, maybe women, maybe men. So you get the car. And you feel good about getting the car because now you can ride around in this thing and it's shiny and it looks nice and everybody can see you riding clean and you sitting high, you sitting above everybody else and you looking down on them, right? Who's about to eat them payments? AAA estimated that the annual cost of car ownership was $10,728, up from about an average of $9,666 from the previous year. The report showed an annual increase from January 2023 to January 2024 of 6.5% for motor vehicle maintenance and repair, while the average cost of car insurance increased by more than 20% over the same period. If you lose your job, do you have backup money? Because most Americans don't have $500 for their emergency fund. So where is the money for all of the extra things that may come along with your car? Based on AAA data, the average monthly cost of owning and operating a car is $894. What I see happen is a lot of people in society say, hey, if I can afford the monthly payments, I can afford this car, which is a lie. You can't afford the car just because you can afford the monthly payments. For some people, that is absolutely true, but I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about the broke and impressionable people. Them buying a vehicle is not the same as somebody that's rich buying these sort of vehicles. Why would we care if a rich person is buying a vehicle? They can probably afford the vehicle. Lower income households may generally pay a larger proportion of their budget on transportation. When you are trying to build wealth and you don't have anything in real life, your vehicle can be a wealth killer. Some people, it's over before it even started. I cannot tell you guys how many 19-year-olds, 18-year-olds I have seen because they feel the pressure in society to have the independence of having their own vehicle, now went out and financed vehicles that could be anywhere between 12% to 18%, 20%. It's very high, especially if you don't have a cosigner. It don't just stop there. No cosigner, insurance, any sort of maintenance for the vehicle, gas, because some of y'all picked the worst vehicles to get in the first place because you want to look cool. And why did you think this was a good car? Because you did no research. You just thought it looked nice. What? And now you complaining that you got all these maintenance problems. You should have got a Toyota. And look, some of y'all be on the internet a little bit too much and don't do any research into the things that matter. This is a long-term commitment. This vehicle is not supposed to just be something you just drive today and you go get another one next week. But you wanted to get what you wanted because that was your dream car. Y'all, some of y'all gotta miss me with that. Miss me with the this is my dream car stuff. And while I'm on that topic, when you're young, you don't need your dream car. Stop that! What do you need your dream car in your early 20s for? Why do you feel like you deserve your dream car? At 20, you're probably broke. I know what it's like to be early 20s. I was broke and there's nothing wrong with being broke. But the thing is, don't be broke and act rich. When I was broke, I acted broke. I was broke in real life. You can still be a great person and be broke. That doesn't make you who you are. It's just you being honest about the truth. You don't have it like that. And maybe one day you will have it like that. But I know one thing, if you put yourself in a hole when you're really young, it's very hard to get out. It's going to take a lot of discipline. It's going to be very annoying and frustrating. And a lot of people have regret about a lot of the things they do in their younger years. And some people have regret about things that they didn't do in their younger years. Now, which one do you want to be? And if you're still doing it in your 30s and 40s, same thing. Which one do you want to be? Do you want to be somebody that's always regretting the decisions that you made? Some of y'all put yourselves in these situations because you want to flex. You want to flex, you want to look cute, you feel like, oh, I just want to treat myself. You treating yourself into boredom. You're treating yourself into brokedom. We have been conditioned to think that we deserve everything. And that is a problem because everybody don't deserve a nice car. I'm sorry, they don't. The people who work hard and save for a car and are financially responsible, they had a little bit of delayed gratification. If they can afford the cars, there is nothing wrong with getting a car. There's nothing wrong with getting anything nice at that point. But to just be broke and then think that you're gonna beat on your chest that you deserve a nice car, that don't make sense. Do you know that there are people that literally have to go to work every day because of their car? They don't have anything in their house. Everything they have is put into that car. It's put into making you think that they got it like that. Meanwhile, they are house poor. That is not okay, y'all. To prioritize a vehicle that is meant to put you from A to B over your quality of life. Y'all, being a slave to a vehicle is wild. That is not a flex. That sounds exhausting. Yes, there are very nice vehicles, but I don't think that's for broke people. They're not things that are going to help you become wealthy. And the excuse of, oh, I need something to get back and forth to work. Well, okay, but do you need a BMW? No, you don't. You want what you want because you feel like you should have it. But that doesn't mean you deserve it. If you don't truly have enough to have certain things and you go get them anyway, you become a slave to those things that you didn't even need to have. Isn't that wild? Now you at work working overtime, busting your butt on the weekends because you have a car that you like to show off to people. Meanwhile, those people don't even care. Pulling up at the same job that they at. And you there more than them because you got a car that you can't afford. Now, what type of sense does that make, y'all? That makes no sense, but I've seen it in real life. I think that anything above $1,000 personally for a car is wild. That makes my chest hurt. If I hear an APR that's above 12%, I start sweating for whoever had that APR. And some of y'all want the cars so bad that you will take these bad high APR rates and ride off in the sunset while your car is depreciating. Nobody cares what you drive. The culture I grew up in, this is something that was very common. I remember when the Big Tymers came out with the song Still Fly, you know, when he was talking about how he didn't have no job, but he stayed fly, can't pay his rent, but all his money spent, out a quarter tank of gas in his new E-Class, but that's all right because he's gonna ride. You know, y'all remember that song? Some of y'all took that song and really applied it to real life. It was a song. Why do you want to be broke and flex like you're not broke? Because that's what the song was about. Do y'all get it? Like, that's wild to me. Some of y'all are doing that in real life. I was a child when that song came out. Some of y'all are living like that. You don't want to live like the Big Tymers was talking about and still fly. I wish I could play it, but I'll probably get a copyright. But go look it up. If your first thought whenever you get you some money is to go buy a car, that's a broke man's mentality. As soon as you get a little bit of something, you just finding a way to get rid of it. You don't really want nothing then. Because people who want things don't find ways to get rid of the little bit of resources they do have and go put that towards something like a car that's depreciating every single time you get in there and drive it. For your niece, for your sister, for your neighbor up the street who you trying to keep up with, it's really goofy. It is really goofy and it's annoying. We need to stop teaching kids to value material things because as one person do it, your daddy did it, then you do it, then your kids gonna do it, and it needs to stop. Somebody needs to call BS and say enough is enough. At what point do we stop the madness? And to make it worse, I seen people 3, 4, 5 cars and they're broke. They are broke. They are dead broke. And guess what? They're your moms. They're your dads, your sisters, your brothers, your auntie, your uncle. Broke. You broke. Car nice, you're broke. Car nice, no savings. Car nice, no emergency fund. Car nice, no 401k. Car nice, no brokerage account. Focusing on everything besides what's really gonna make you feel how you want to feel. A lot of people think that with the car is going to come the feeling of success, and it won't. And the reason is because you know it's all a lie. You know that you really aren't living like that. And you know if you lose your job, the repo man coming to collect. And that's a scary, scary feeling. But you better be at work on Monday, because if you get behind on your car note, you know what's coming up next, and you know you don't have nobody that you can depend on. I don't think it's worth it for a car. None of this is financial advice. These are just merely my opinions. Why not just save $1,000 per month? Maybe give yourself a year and then go buy a car. Then I have $12,000 and keep it under a certain threshold, maybe $9,000. Some of y'all need to do simple math. Maybe you don't got to get a 2025. Maybe you can get you a nice used vehicle that's going to get you from point A to point B, because that's what the car is for. It's not to stunt. I don't know why we want to stunt and be broke. Then you don't have to worry about a high APR if your credit is screwed up, monthly payments. So if you get sick at work, you don't have to be looking around to see who can help you pay your car note. And if you're trying to flex for your family, why? Why do you care what they think? Why do you care what they got? When are you going to get you something that really matters, that's going to help you in the future? When you going to stop worrying about what they doing? When you going to grow up? When you going to stop trying to impress people? You going to keep trying to do that till you die? What is it going to take? How down bad do you gotta be for you to know that it don't matter, to know that they're not gonna come help you because they got their own stuff going on? How down bad do you gotta get until you realize that your future matters? If we're all blessed enough, we will see old age. That's one thing that is certain. None of us ain't got no crystal ball. We don't know where we gonna go. But if you're blessed enough, we will age and you will get old. When are you gonna prepare for the future? What you gonna do for yourself besides say, oh, I deserve a car that in 10 years ain't gonna be worth none of the headache that you just put yourself through? And it really annoys me that people push this to the youth, because the youth and the broke people are very impressionable people. Social media really did a number on the youth and on the adults, because everybody seemed to think they deserve everything. So-and-so got it, so why can't I have it? Oh, everybody else can get nice things, why can't I have nice things? See, that's your problem. You worried so much about what so-and-so doing and why you can't. You need to be more focused on how you can, not why you can't do what they doing. The facts still remain. If you can't afford something, you can't afford it. Stop trying to stretch the envelope and still say, hey, I can make it work. I really want my people to do better, because I've been seeing cars get repoed in 2024 like I've never seen before in my life. The repo man making all sorts of money off of people's bad decisions. And I'm hoping that people don't continue to keep falling for this stupidity. I often hear people say they can't afford to save. I can't afford to put aside no money. I have bills, blah, blah, blah. But a lot of these bills are unnecessary, y'all. I'm not saying that people don't need transportation. I'm saying if you're broke, you don't need a BMW. If you're broke, you don't need a Hellcat. If you're broke, you don't need an Audi. This is what we call HoodRich. And you know the sad thing about being HoodRich? You're only impressing people in a certain circle. You're not impressing everybody else. There are better ways to reallocate your funds. And this is for the broke, impressionable people, because I know they don't have people in the comments. Everybody's not broke. I'm talking about the broke and impressionable. Y'all stay trying to say everybody ain't broke. Okay, well, everybody's not rich. So this is for them. Some people allocate every dollar that they have into making somebody else rich. Think about it. Is your car making you rich? If not, it's a liability. Whatever it is in life, if it's not making you money, it's keeping you broke. If you have a spending habit, your spending habit's keeping you broke. If you have a car flexing problem, it's keeping you broke. Anything that you are spending your resources on that you have limited amount of to make other people money and you're not putting anything back into yourself is what's keeping you broke. That's why the title is what the title is. These aren't things that are making you rich. These are things to keep you broke. You're making these companies, the car dealership, salesman money. You're making the bank money. You're making everybody money in this transaction except you. Meanwhile, you got the car to flex. You're paying the flex with interest, 15 to 20%, some of y'all. If you are broke and you're using a vehicle to show status in society, you will stay broke more than likely. You see, you still have to go work in real life for this money and support your habit of buying stuff you don't need. So you just go be a slave to the items that you love so much. Who wants to do that? It is one of the biggest decisions you can make that can financially bankrupt you before you even start trying to build wealth. That's why it's so important to not get caught in this trap if you haven't already, and if you have got caught in it, to try to get out of it and not put yourself back in this situation. People I think that are really winning are people who can utilize public transportation, buses, carpooling, bikes, scooters, whatever it is, in order to avoid car payments, or the people who have no car payment at all. When you don't have a car payment, that is a great feeling. Wanting to go back into having car payments when you don't need them is wild to me. That is the money that you could be investing to make you more money. The money that actually could be deployed to help you in the future to not be poor or to not be broke. We all have choices about where we're going to allocate our funds and our money to go. Some people will allocate all of their money into trying to impress somebody, and you will pay interest for it. That lady at Walmart parked 2 spots down ain't worried about you. Some of y'all don't even got health insurance and you got a fancy car. Priorities is all out of whack, and we talk about the wrong things. You still have to go back to being broke in your car, at your job, at home. You're still broke. The perception that you try to sell to other people doesn't matter, because at the end of the day, does it really make you feel better inside? Yeah, you might get kudos for getting a car. Who stuck with these payments? We gotta do better. We have to make better decisions today in order to have a better tomorrow.